Hello everyone, it's Pam here with Tattered Paper and Lace, and I am here today for my second bird collage for the challenge that Barbie at Nellie and Ruth Designs is hosting, and the hashtag is in our bird collage. I'm going to leave that laying right up here so you can see that, and I am, move that over, just adjusting my camera a little bit. And I am, as I did before, I'm going to use this giant playing card, but I have not sanded this one off, so I'll show you how to do that. I use this sanding block. One side has this honeycomb design on it, and the other side is smooth. And it's very heavy duty, so it's a coarse, very coarse. And I use that, the smooth side, to sand these cards because they are very shining. So as you can see, I get a little bit of pink. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of pink, and a little bit of pink on my paper right here from the sanding dust of the card. But we're just going to give that a good little sand, and then I'll wipe it off. I have a background to go on this one, but I needed to sand it just so hopefully it'll stick better. And then let me wipe this off and wipe this off. I'll be right back. So I want to thank all of you who have subscribed and continue to come back to my channel. I appreciate it very much. And if you haven't subscribed, but you find that you like this content, if you would hit the subscribe button and the notification bell, then you'll get further videos from me. And now with this, I just bang it on the side of the trash can to keep the dust off. And that works pretty good. Okay, so this is now ready. I've got it dusted and sanded, and I have this as my background. And I'm going to cut this down just a little bit because I'm not going to need the whole thing. And let me cut this side down just a little bit, because again, I'm not going to need the whole thing. Okay. And this is going to be my background. So I'm not going to glue it down yet, but you see I've got it just a little bit bigger than my card, and that's fine because I know I want to make it be even with this side and the top, and the rest of this will get cut off. But I'm gonna just mark it with my nail right now, so I'll know where that is. I'm not gonna cut it off yet. I actually think I'm gonna wait until I have it on the card to cut it off. But I do need to make a few cuts. And I'm not gonna do this on the card either. That's another reason I was marking exactly where everything would be. I need to make a few cuts in this background to tuck in excuse me, didn't mean to cover that up, to put my elements tucked in some places. And I am going to start with these little flowers here. I fussy cut these from my Reader's Digest Medicinal Plants book. And I went ahead and fussy cut everything because they're tedious. So I'm going to put these as if they are growing out of, and I think this one is going over out, yes, it was coming from behind that, so it does not need to be tucked in. And this is, whoops, this is the title of the bird. This is the kind of bird that I'm using today, which is these, and they are the Western bluebird. I want to put the kind of bird, just because I'm interested and want to know that later when I look back at these. Okay, so I am going to put these flowers. This little stem is going to go in here, and I think I can just cut it right, just a little bit right here, and it is going to slip in this little pot right here, right like that, so that it looks like it is growing out of this potted plant. And I don't know how these plants got here, because it's not what is supposed to be planted in here. This one I'm going to cut along this leaf, which looks like a oh man, I know the name of this plant. We have some elephant ear. I think it's an elephant ear, but it's not a tall one. It hasn't grown to be tall yet. But I want, yeah, it's going to go this way. I want this plant to go under this leaf, because it is growing out of the pot, but it is growing, and I've got to cut that leaf a little bit more. It's growing out from under this leaf. Now, are these weeds? I don't know. Could be. My husband says every flower started as a weed, so they could be weeds. But, you know, we don't know yet. Okay, so those are going there. This one is going to go with its stem behind this wording, which is going to go down here at the bottom where there isn't anything much to speak of. There. I think, nope, can't put them down yet. Well, I could put these two down, I think, except I'm not sure of their height. Now, these birds are on an empty stem, so I'm going to say this garden needs a little bit of work, because this stem is coming out of this pot as well, and which would indicate that might have been something that died. So let's see, how do I want to do that? Could make it come out of there. Yeah, maybe out of here. I'll cut this right here. See if I can make it come out of the end of this plant and see how that works. I'm gonna lay that aside for now. Where was I cutting here? Okay, so we'll do that, and I want that stem come out of there. Yes, there we go. Uh-oh, this one came out. And this one is going to go up and around. Okay, so this plant that these birds are perched on is evidently something that either dies in the winter or dies back in the winter and comes back out in the spring, and it's not happened yet, or it is something that died in the pot either over the winter or something like that. Okay, so those are going to go like that, and hopefully they look like they are growing out of the pot, and that this, I think I want him a little bit higher and a little tilted this way, a little bit more. There, like that. Okay, I am not liking how that's doing so well. Let's see. Oh, that's because I don't have it up as far. There we go. That's better. Yeah, that's better. Okay. Now, we've got that coming out of there. Now, these are not going to need to be tucked in because they will be behind my Western Bluebird label. And I'm going to do these just like this. And this is going to go like this, which will cover up those stems. And then you will assume that they're growing out of this area. And then that's going to go like that, with its stem behind the sign, and the sign just covered a little bit with the leaf. Okay, so that, yes, that is how this is going to go. So let me get my glue out and we'll get these things down. So I appreciate you coming along. I hope everyone is doing well. I'm doing good. We've got a nice sunshiny, well, partly sunshiny day today. But it is a nice day. We had a little bit of rain, sprinkle rain this morning, which is okay, but we've had a lot of rain. Lots of rain. My husband couldn't even, we have a ditch in our front along the street, and he couldn't cut the grass in it with a lawnmower. He had to do it with a weed eater because it was still very wet from the last rain we had. Okay, I'm not really liking how that's coming out of there. So I'm going to do that a little differently, I think. I am going to, let's see how this works. I am going to cut it, close my glue up. I had to think long and hard for this one because of where I wanted to put it, and I'll have a little story. I always have a little story if I can. So I'm going to put this one so that hopefully maybe it'll just be coming out of the pot instead of from under that leaf. Let's see how that works. Okay, yeah, I think I like that better. We can still make it sort of come out from the leaf, but not as close as it was. Okay, so this is, I cut all these things out like I've told you before. I can't, gotta cut this off the little edge. I don't like that little white edge on this. I can't pause, so I have to do these things ahead. And that's why I don't do the fussy cutting and so forth on camera, because I don't have the ability to pause, and you don't really want me to do that. I mean, it takes me a little while, and because it's generally fussy, and so I don't particularly like to do it on camera. Okay, there, I like that better. Okay, that'll work. Take that off. Okay, get this back down here so you can see it. Okay, so this is how this is going to go. I am going to go ahead and glue down the birds and these flowers. I've already glued this one down. Birds are next for glue. So I had to ponder this one. I wanted to do something different with a background and so forth, and I just could not figure out exactly what I wanted to do. Let's do this from the back side first. Yeah, we can do it from the back side. Just a little bit of glue here. Position this where I want it to go. There. I need a little bit of glue is getting out from underneath. So stick this under there. Whoops, I got him too close to the edge. There, that's better. Okay, now I can take this, which is now glued down, and it shouldn't be yet, with my glue from underneath. There we go. And I'm going to put this kind of like right there, and go ahead and glue this down. I think, yeah. Go ahead and glue this down. So I hope everyone's doing well, like I said. And I appreciate you coming along. I think I said that too. I have been diligently working on my steampunk journal, and I will be doing a video this week on putting the signatures into or making the book block. I'm not going to be actually sewing it in the cover yet because I'm doing the hidden spine, so our hidden hollow back spine, and so I have to sew it into the binding element first, and before it goes in the book, because it'll just get glued in the book after I have there. I think that's going to be good. I hope. So I wanted the end of that to be covered by this, and then these, and I can cut it if I need to. Yeah, I think that's going to be fine. Yep, I think that's going to be fine. Okay. All right, so let's get this bird down. I'm putting this, I'll show you the book in just a moment and show you, because when I put it in, or when I show you where it's going, I'll tell you my little story. It's very, very simple. It's not a complicated or very long. It's actually basically a sentence story, but it's kind of fun. So, my only problem with this is trying to figure out which birds to use and whether I'm interested in the bird on the opposite side of the page on this book that I'm using, which is another Reader's Digest. And like the background is, no, excuse me, these flowers are from a Reader's Digest. The background is from a 1939 gardening book. Just gardening in general, vegetable, flower, shrub, just gardening in general. And it's got some really, really cool images in it. Okay, so we've got the birds down. Let's smooth this out. Okay. Now, okay, here's my tall one. There it is. So I'm going to go ahead and glue this. I know I don't need to. Well, actually, I'm just going to cut it off right there. Doesn't need to be that long. Made a copy of this background because I will probably want to use it again someday. So, and they're just very cool, very vintagey. And I thought this was a pretty patio garden in the background here. So I wanted that to be my background. So I am putting this here, just like this. And then this one is going to go on top, just like that. And this is going to go here. Let's make sure I've got them in the right places. I think I do. Close enough. Yes. Okay. Do I want to cut this a little bit closer than I intended to across the top right there? I think I will do it in a little bit of just a tiny bit of ink on the edge, just whatever's on my sponge, just to have a little bit of definition with that. Okay, so next is going to go this guy. So let's get this one glued down. I don't have any water today. I live in this little city, small town, and they are working on the water in the whole town. Of course, there's only about 800 people in the city. Everybody's out of water. because they're working on the whole city system, which we have a sewage system and whatever water system, however all that works, I don't know. But they're working on it, and my husband called them earlier to see what was going on because we had low water pressure, but we still had water. But it was low, and they said we may lose the water during the day, but hopefully they're going to get it done today. So currently, we are out of water. But hopefully, we'll get it back eventually, before the day's out, I hope. Otherwise, I don't know what we'll do. Because we've got some friends that we could go to their house, but they live in the city too, so their water is also out. So, I don't know what we'll do. But we'll manage. We have some gallon of water in the refrigerator, plus water bottles, so we're not going to get thirsty. But it's just annoying to not have water when you're used to having it. You get complacent with the things that you have when you don't have them. So it'll be nice to get the water back. We're on a sewer system, which we did when we moved here 20 years ago. We were not on a sewer system. But we moved here 22 years ago. About 20 years ago, or 18 years ago, something like that, we were made to go on a sewer system because, unless we drilled a well, because we're on a low water table in this town, and they deemed it not sufficient for sewage. So they made the city put in a sewage system, and we all had to join it. But we had to pay for it. We had to pay for the join up. They paid for it running down running down the street, but we had to pay to get our house hooked to the sewer, which I'm really okay with that because I now have a beautiful patio that's over where my septic tank used to be. And it was in a place that wouldn't have been all that, you couldn't have done anything with it, and it just needed to be different. So I really was kind of glad that we wound up being on the sewage system because I could then cover up the septic tank with the antique brick patio. And I like it very much. So that was a good thing, although I really hate to have to pay for the amount of water that you have to pay for when you're on a sewage system. You have to pay for water. You pay for your water, then you pay for your water going through the sewage system, which it really doesn't, but I guess that's what pays for the sewage system, because all of your water doesn't go through the sewage system. Your washing machine water and your sink water and your tub water and all that doesn't go through the sewage system. You got to pay twice for all of that. So that part's a little bit annoying. Okay, we're going to do that like that. And I'm going to glue that down just like in this over here, just like that. Okay, I need to move that leaf up just a little bit. Let me do that leaf next so I can get it in the place I want it to be. So I am going to be doing enough collages to fill up this little book that I'm putting these in. And if you saw my last video, you saw the book, but I will be showing you again because I'm going to cut this right here a little bit. So I can make this leaf go over this a little bit like that. Just the tiniest little bit, which I think makes it look a little more part of the scenery here. Even just little tiny things like that make it look like it all is cohesive and comes together. So I like to do those little details, even however minor that might be. Sometimes it makes all the difference. Okay. So I just want that right. Get that back up. Just barely under this leaf right here, because I can't really do any more than just a little bit, because it's not in the right place to do more than that. Oh, I need to move this up. Come on. There. I was getting that a little bit further down than I meant to. Okay. There. I think that's straight. This leaf is over that just a little bit. It's kind of wrapping around. This is coming a little further down than I meant for it to, right there. I think that's part of. Cut that off a little bit, right there. Okay, now. Okay, there we go. Okay, that's my collage right there. But now we got to finish it up by doing a couple of more things. I'm actually through with the collage, but I need to put it on the card because I want that a little bit of extra dimension that gives it. Okay, so I need to do that. Okay, I hope you like that. I'm kind of happy with that. Let's get these things back where they belong. If I don't, I won't be able to find them again. I have lost a couple of things that I wish I could find. Okay, we're going to put that on the card now. Let me put this back there. Okay, this is going to go on the card, and I am going to just use glue. Let me glue this down. And that down. I know it'll get glued down, but it might hinder me in getting this down correctly. So we'll just put a little glue on it. Okay. Now, I want this to go even with this side and the top. I am going to put the glue. I'm going to use my bigger glue bottle. I'm going to put the glue on the card. I'm going to use my bigger glue bottle. I'm going to wipe it off one more time just to make sure that it is cleaned off good. No residue. We'll raise it up just a little bit. There's the hashtag. So yeah, let's just do this. I'm not going to ink around this because I'll show you when I get this together. I will show you why I'm not going to ink around this. Well, I want it to just have a little bit cleaner look on all of these. I'm not really inking much on these because I want them to have a little bit cleaner look about them than it does when you do inking. I don't always ink. I like to ink pretty much, but I don't always do it. Depends on the look I'm after. Okay. I think that will do it. stand up to get this on here. I'm going to put this on here because it might squish out. I don't want it on my background here. Okay, so I want it straight here and down the side. Sometimes that's hard to do. But I think I got it. I think I got it. Let's do it from this side now. A little bit off right there. I'll just trim that off. A little bit off up here because it's a little bit off down here. You know, it's what happens. But it'll be all right. I don't think anybody will know or notice. Okay, so now I'm going to cut this off here and here. And it needs to come off a little bit. Not there, but a little bit here. Just a smidgen. Okay, now I think my corner rounder, I have a 3 size corner rounder, and I think this will do it. Let's see if it will. Yeah, because my card is a little bit rounded on the corners. So I'm using the smallest rounder. And there we are. Okay, so that is my collage. Move that over here. And let me bring this in. This is my book. I showed you my book, and it's a 2009 planner, and I took all the planning pages out, and so in here is just the month divider pages, front and back, and I am putting them across from some other image. And this is what I wanted to do, but I don't think this is heavy enough for how heavy this page is as far as saturation of color and so forth. So I thought I would get something that was similar in color to this background, which I picked out this. It's a little bit brighter, but not much of it's going to show, so I think it'll be fine. And I wanted to cover or make a little border for this collage to sit on, because I think that then makes this page a little heavier and a little more equal to this page. So I will do that, but I wanted to tell you my little story. So this, from what I could tell by looking in the book that I'm using, this looks like an Eastern bluebird. And this is a Western bluebird. And you can see these two guys are looking at each other and they're going, "What are you doing in my territory?" And he's going, "But what are you doing in my territory?" So whose territory are they in? I don't know. But it looks like they're having a little standoff there. Because both of these are looking at this bird. And this is the male and the female of the Western bluebird. And this is the male of the Western bluebird. I mean, of the Eastern bluebird. And all of these pages have a little affirmation kind of saying, and it says, this one says, "Use what talents you possess. The woods would be very silent if no birds sang except those that sang best." I think that's great. I think that's great. That means use your talent, whatever your talent is, and use it to the best of your ability, and your talent is just as good as anybody else's talent. Now, I didn't sand this side, but I'm going to glue it to this. I wonder if that's going to hold. I'm going to use double-sided tape. just in case. So I'm going to do that instead of glue. I have some right here. I like to use double-sided tape when I'm not sure of how something will hold. And then I'm going to use the double-sided tape to glue it to this too, I think. Just because. So I also mentioned that I had done a video on how to make the faux aged tape. And if you are interested in that, go take a look and see how that's done. It's very, very easy. It's very, very quick. And the only real, the most expensive thing is the alcohol ink, because you do have to use alcohol ink. So that's the most expensive thing. If you buy just a single bottle, I think you can get it for, mine was $3.59 or something like that. It may be $5 now. I don't know. You know, inflation, it might have gone up some. I bought mine several years ago. And so it lasts a long time. So go check out that video. Go look at the videos on my process for my steampunk journal. And also go and check out my part 5. I've done 4 parts, which the first one is just telling you what I'm going to do. Then the second one is embellishing. Third one is embellishing. And the fourth one, I can't remember. It's probably more embellishing. Because I'm almost done with everything. I did do a lot of things on the not on camera, sewing and things like that. I did not do on camera. I'm just going to take off part of these so I can position this where I want it and it not stick everywhere before I want it to. And of course I did it on the bottom, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter. I'm quiet so I can get this on here right. Okay, I think that's it. Oops, I got a little too... It's tearing. Yeah, I've turned it over now. I got a little too close to one side. And I think this will still be okay. If not, I can put a little glue under it. I need to stand up. Actually, I'm going to not even do it on camera because I can't see it when I'm standing up, even when I'm on camera. So let me see if I can do it this way. I'm just going to have to take it all off, it looks like, to get it even. Or pretty much all off. Okay, we're going with that. And that's close. It's not perfect. It is not perfect. But it is close. Also didn't get this cut down exactly right either. I have a hard time getting things straight when I'm on camera. But we're just going to go with it. We're just going to go with it. Okay. Now, let's see if we can get it here. I might glue this with glue instead of the tape. Into this. Make sure it's all down good. Burnish that down. Now I'm going to put it just like that, and that's what it's going to look like. So let me know what you think. I'll glue that down after I'm off camera. Tell me what you think. If you like this collage, leave me a thumbs up. If you like this video, leave me a thumbs up. Uh-oh, his tail didn't get down. Let me use glue stick. If you like what you see, again, hit the notification bell. Not the notification bell. Hit the, we'll do that too, but hit the subscribe button and the notification bell. You'll get further videos from me. Thank you for those who have already subscribed and continue to come back and comment. I appreciate it so very much. And let me know what you think about this collage. And I hope you enjoyed watching this and that you like what you have seen. And go to #NRBirdCollage to see what others are doing with the Marguerite Miller, not Marguerite Miller. This is Barbie at Nellie, Ruth and Designs. This is a whole different challenge. The only requirement for this challenge is obviously birds. You can put it in whatever book you want to. You can do whatever you want to with the collage as long as it has a bird in it. So that's really the only requirement. So thank you for coming, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.